Today I'm going to discuss easily one of the worst videos I have ever made, bar none. It was a video I made back in June of 2018, Pride Month, and it was a response video to one of YouTube's yearly Show Your Pride videos, or whatever they're called, where they compile a bunch of LGBT content creators and basically spread the message that YouTube is a safe space for LGBT content creators. We love our LGBT content creators so much, and I'll give my younger self a little bit of credit. I don't like these videos even to this day, not for the reasons I lay out in this video. Oh god, I'm gonna get into that soon, but this is corporate virtue signaling to a T. YouTube says they love their LGBT content creators, meanwhile they demonetize and deprioritize LGBT content. They refuse to ban and continue to profit off of very hateful people such as Steven Crowder and Matt Walsh, who routinely attack the LGBT community. YouTube is by no means a safe space for LGBT people. And unless advertisers begin to make a big stink about this, YouTube is going to continue to profit off of this content because the only language they speak is money. Same with any other corporation that virtue signals their supposed support for the LGBT community every June. But I just go completely off the rails in this video. I make the absurd claim that Pride Month is supposedly about putting LGBT people on some kind of pedestal, like they're somehow better than cishet people just based off of their sexuality and identity alone. And I wonder, where the fuck did I get this line of thinking from? Well, actually, from anti-SJW YouTubers, but no. I wonder, who actually thinks this way? I pretty much made up a caricature of an LGBT person who doesn't fucking exist, and then proceeded to rage about them in a video for 9 minutes. It's so funny that I say in the video, I don't care if you're gay, lesbian, trans, whatever, you can live life the way you choose to, but in the same breath I say, you can't show pride in who you are, you can't go out in the streets and celebrate in solidarity with other people who may share the same identity and or sexuality as you, and don't shove that in my face. It was a weak sauce attempt to make it seem like I was not homophobic and transphobic in the slightest, yet at the same time, I was parroting a lot of the same talking points that anti-LGBT bigots love to use. So as much as I tried to not make it seem this way, I absolutely did hold bigoted views at this time. I was spoon-fed all of these dumb talking points at this time. Those darn gay and trans people need to get out of our media and stop being shoved in our faces oh so much. Pride Month is all about LGBT supremacy. They think they're above straight, cisgendered people, when in reality these people are just simply celebrating who they are. They are not ashamed of their sexuality and or identity, and that's totally awesome and valid. This is nothing exclusive to the LGBT community whatsoever. Just the other day, the Puerto Rican Day Parade was held here in NYC. Did the Puerto Rican people who participated in that think they're above everyone else just based on the fact that they're Puerto Rican and nothing else? No, that is fucking absurd. They're taking pride in their heritage, just like how LGBT people during Pride Month take pride in their sexuality and or identity. And it is especially pertinent now that these people take pride in who they are, with all of this anti-LGBT legislation cropping up within the Republican Party. You have shit like the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. And in Ohio, if someone just has the inkling that a child athlete is trans, that child would be required by law to get a genital inspection. I forget if this passed into law or not, or is still in the process of passing into law, but regardless, it is very scary how prevalent anti-LGBT rhetoric is right now within the Republican Party. I say in the video, well, you people have your rights. Why are you going out in the street and celebrating who you are? Why are you taking pride in who you are? That's silly, because of shit like this. We still live among very bigoted, very backwards thinking people in this country. And so long as people like this continue to vote and hold office in this country, LGBT people have every right to fight against people like this. Because these bigoted assholes want to see the rights of LGBT people stripped away. These fucking assholes hate the LGBT community just for fucking existing, just for having the audacity of liking someone of the same gender, or transitioning to a different gender, or not identifying with any gender, or just in general expressing themselves differently from how society expects them to. Yeah, sure, gay marriage may be legal right now in this country, But with a conservative majority Supreme Court, we could see that be taken away someday. Roe v. Wade is in imminent danger of being overturned. Who's to say they're not going to target gay marriage next? I was able to identify in this old video that there are bigoted assholes in this world, but I brush off their bigotry as just, a stupid idea. Those people don't matter. Let's just ignore these people. It's so easy for me, a cishet white guy that on top of that lives in a deep blue state, to say that. But what about the trans people, who all of this anti-LGBT legislation that is so prevalent in the Republican Party right now is directly impacted by? There are trans people who live in the South. You know, the area of this country that is easily the most populated with people who just gobble up all of this anti-LGBT horse shit fed to them by the Republican Party. They may have family members, colleagues who are vehemently anti-gay, anti-trans, so therefore they have to stay in the closet. I bet you for those people living in that situation, anti-LGBT bigotry isn't so fucking easy to ignore. I just wonder, how would 17-year-old me react to all this? Would he still brush all of this off as just a stupid idea that people should just ignore? Or would he actually start to realize that bigotry is something that is actually very serious and very rampant in this country? I would like to think the latter, but I honestly don't know. But what I do know is, I was a fucking idiot back then, who upheld talking points that allows bigotry to continue to fester uncontested. LGBT people don't seek to be seen as above the rest of the people who are not within the LGBT community, or whatever fucking stupid conspiracy I came up with in this video. They just want to fucking live. They just want to like who they like, express themselves how they choose to, without having to fear the scorn of idiots who want society to revert back to 1952. And you can view Pride Month as the LGBT community saying, fuck you, we are who we are, and we are not ashamed, and we refuse to kowtow to your backwards ass beliefs. And unlike me 4 years ago, I am in complete support of that. So anyways, this was a video I took down like 2 years ago. I flat out deleted it. I didn't even unlist it or private it. But I did re-upload it onto my second channel because I guess I just love embarrassing myself. It'll be linked down in the description. Just a general content warning, it does contain a lot of anti-LGBT talking points that you frequently hear from conservatives, and I do say the T-slur at one point, so there's that too. And I also crack the one joke that conservatives make. I say in the end of the video, I don't care if you're gay, I don't care if you're trans, so long as you don't identify as a wombat. Comedy fucking gold. And I love the fucking Morgan Freeman quote I pull at the end. Black history is just American history, same with LGBT history. LGBT history is just American history. I loved that clip so much back then, and I'm pretty sure Morgan Freeman regrets saying that now. I could be wrong, but I think I remember hearing that. But I really gobbled the fuck out of that clip back then. Not even just because of what he said, but also because this must really anger the SJWs. Because that was the be-all end-all of my politics back then. And even though I have probably said this in all of my other retrospective videos, or whatever the fuck else you want to call these videos, how the fuck did people enjoy my content back then? I could barely mutter a fucking sentence without fumbling over my fucking words. Before I get even more angry. That's all I have to say. Bye-bye.